Hi, welcome back to Straight Talk. Happy New Year to everyone, and hopefully you had a wonderful holiday with your family. And now you're looking at January, you're looking at the new year, and you're making some resolutions. And one of those is that you want to save money and you want to buy a home. You want to get a loan maybe, but you want to buy a house. That's your goal for this year. So joining me are some wonderful people from Guidewell Financial, and they are doing some really good work in the community, and they're been gracious to come in and help us, help you when it comes to buying a home and saving your money. Joining me is Tom Simonton, who's with Guidewell, and Chesca Stein. Yes. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Tom, let me ask you, we want to talk a little bit about home ownership. You know, and someone, again, who's watching saying, yeah, I really do want to buy a home and I'm tired of renting, or what do there are steps that they need to take to like think about, can I buy a home? Do I have the money? Do I have, what do you ask them if they were to come in?
Well, absolutely. I always like to frame the conversation in the context that this is the largest purchase that most of us are ever going to make in their lives. So my advice to them, what we start out with is research what you're looking for. Instead of going out and talking perhaps to a real estate agent or a lender or something like that, look around. There's plenty of websites you can find homes. You want to explore all the different neighborhoods that you might live in, what your commute to work would be like. If you have children in schools or planning on having a family, schools are important, those types of things. Then you want to look at possibly sitting down and reviewing what your budget is. See what you're spending right now as opposed to what your income is. If you find a house that you might look for, you can contact a utility, find out what the average cost of that the utilities for that house is for a year. You want to factor as much information as possible into your decision before you go talk to lenders or realtors or something like that.
So, I mean, they got to really plan. Now, would you help them do that if they came in?
Well, yeah, absolutely. We encourage them to come in before they meet with a real estate agent or a lender, but many times they've already started the process. So it's not that we have to walk them back, but we start over with them because we want to make sure that if they're going to buy a home, that they become a successful homeowner.
Okay, so they need to kind of prepare for all that.
Absolutely.
Chesca, when it comes to the loan, when it comes to the actual money, you know, that's got to be kind of a wake-up call, reality check to a lot of people. When you know, as Tom said, you got to look at what you can afford. How do you review that with someone?
Referring back to what Tom said, the first thing, you have to look at your budget. You have to, you know, your cash flow, right? Then you have to look, which we call, we do the 3 C's. Your credit, of course, you're going to do that to make sure your credit's fine. Capacity, which is your income. And then capital, that big down payment. So in our courses, you know, you would attend a first-time home buyers workshop. That gives you the general overall view of the process. Then you meet with a counselor where we review your individual situation. We look at your credit, we look at your income, and we look at your savings. And we constantly, you'll hear the recurring theme, right? It's all about savings, about having good credit and being prepared. But the important part of the loan, it goes back to savings, because you're going to have a down payment. You're going to have to, the lender is going to ask you to put down a certain amount of money before he gives you that loan. And then you have closing costs, you know. So it all falls in, it, you know, as I said, you're going to hear the recurring theme: save, make sure you're stable. The lender's going to want stable employment history, at least 2 years. So that's income. He's going to look at your savings to make sure that you have enough money for the down payment. And then, are you going to be able to continue the payment? So that's it really in a nutshell.
So I think people probably, I would imagine, when they come in and talk to you, I don't know how many leave happy and or how many leave disappointed, realizing that it's a lot. A lot goes into buying a home, and there's a lot more money involved than I think people look at when they say, well, you know, here's how much I'm going to pay per month. but then they've got insurance and they've got everything else that goes into that.
I think when people leave after they've talked with us, they leave with clarity. I mean, this is an exciting time to buy
Sure.
especially a first-time home buyer, you know, and the process is so filled with angst at times that once they're done talking with us, once they go through the workshop, talk with our counselor, they leave with clarity. I don't think that they leave upset, but they have a better understanding of the process. And once you understand that process, it's really up to them to decide whether or not that they can go forward. The counselor can say, well, you might want to take these steps. In 6 months, you'll be in a better position. But really, the people are going to have to make a decision on their own based on the information they receive from the counselor. So again, if they start with that basic process and go through the steps, they'll leave with clarity.
And I think given this day and age, I think you find a lot of younger people obviously looking to buy a home, and they're looking for a good deal, right? But they're also looking for cheap money. You know, interest rates have been low. Now we don't know where they're going to go, but they certainly have been low, certainly lower than before. But do you find people understand? Is that part of the workshop? Teaching about getting a loan, interest rates, what it actually means, you know, to borrow money?
It is. The workshop, as I said, is a general view, and we talk. We repeat your credit history. You need to take care of that first, okay? Then the next step is, once you're fine with the credit, then you can. We actually ask them to pull their credit first. If there's anything that needs to be fix it first before you go to the lender, so that you're prepared. Once everything is fine, then you go to the lender to see, you know, what you qualify for. Then from that, the lender at the workshop, the lender will discuss, because that's the policy under HUD. They can't promote themselves. They can only talk about the types of loans that are out there. And basically, they're just government loans and conventional loans, okay? Right. They learn about those products. And then the parameters or the requirements that are required to get a loan from a bank. So they leave with that information. But then they have to have a follow-up, because, as I said, that's just a general landscape.
The basics.
Right,
like
exactly. We want them to be informed. That's the key part.
I was just going to say that having that workshop is such a great idea to educate. So we've got it up on the website. Anyone who's interested in buying a home, who's concerned about, do I have enough money, do I need a loan, they can call you all, come in, take that workshop. That's a great way to do it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Stay with us. We're coming right back to Straight Talk.